the reason I'm able to deal with pushback and no is actually when Emma introduces me and says all those nice things, I don't believe them.
You mentioned the key to success is not really caring too much about what other people think. How do you get yourself into the mindset to be able to kick through any doors or people who have said you can't do something? This is from Steve O'Brien.
You know, Steve, I think for me, it was a journey of losing a lot as a child. You know, I was an immigrant. I didn't speak the language, so it was hard for me to, make friends when I first got to America. Then I was a bad student, so all my teachers said, no, you're a failure, bad, push against. I wasn't, after about third or fourth grade, it was clear to me that I was not remarkable at sports. So there wasn't that thing that a lot of kids rely on. So I basically lived a life with a lot of adversity and a lot of no. My parents didn't buy me things. Mom, I want Nintendo. No. My life was about no. And so it was very easy once I became an adult to be comfortable in no. For a lot of you, my children included, no was, you were in the business of yes, and in that became the vulnerability because no seemed scary, foreign. So I think the biggest way for you or anybody else at a more advanced age of not being a child anymore is getting into the practice of losing and doing no's, trying things that are hard to you, doing things that require no. People need to have a relationship with no, and that is only something that either you are serendipitously growing up with and or something that you manufacture for yourself when you get older by putting yourself in uncomfortable positions so that you become more comfortable with rejection. It's ironic you asked that question. Literally, my Instagram post that I snuck in while I was doing the interview with Emma, because I multitask, you might have saw me looking down at some point. Literally, this post that I just posted is that people are too addicted to positive reinforcement. You're smart, you're pretty, that's awesome. Once you believe that, you become susceptible to negative reinforcement. So Niall, the reason I'm able to deal with pushback and no is actually when Emma introduces me and says all those nice things, I don't believe them. I don't know how else to say it. When I hear that I'm a 5-time New York Times bestseller, that's funny to me because I failed all my English and writing classes. When I hear, when Emma says something like, you've actually made a dent in this global advertising, this style, you were with us very early on. That's funny. We were like a ragtag group of 50 people that just were sitting in an office, right? This. So for me, I don't get high on my accomplishments, which allows me to not get low on when I'm dealing with negativity. I just keep it very zen, very in the middle. Like I'm aware of what I've got going on and where it's going. And I'm also aware that I'm 44 years old, which means I have a lot of time to build on this. And it can end up being in a very crazy place, not financially, on impact. I'm well known at this point and I'm just starting. So I know that kind of, God willing, with health and all that, my destiny at some level is for some pretty big bridges, but that will never make me think that I'm better than somebody or I'm greater than, which allows me to then deal with the negativity that comes along with that much notoriety. And I like that. I like that I don't get too high and I don't get too low.